Hey, welcome back to Global News Morning. A pleasure to see you, and always a pleasure to check in with our good friend Matt Lee. Matt, how are you, my friend? Good morning.
I'm great. How are you?
Always doing good. We're
Great.
talking about if a family is growing and they want a bigger place, a couple of options. They can sell, move
Yeah.
into a bigger place, or renovate.
Yeah. Yeah. We're trying to give as much information on the show as possible, and we need to touch on, say you love your neighborhood,
Yep.
you can't find the house that you want, and you have this perfect setup, and you think all I need is more space, and you think, okay, well, what are the options out there to do that? And then I thought, let's just bring forward a couple different ideas. Like I did this. Like I was downtown, and we needed more space. We had more kids, and I was like, I didn't want to leave. We lived on a great street, and I said, okay, well then we have to do an expansion here because we want to stay.
Most
So
people think of renovations as, fixing up the interior or an addition on the side. You forget that you can do additions upward.
this is the style that we had done. We actually took a 1.5 story, and you cut the roof off the house,
Hmm.
and you actually go straight up. So you're expanding the house, and you're turning it in from, say, the first picture is a bungalow that's probably a 2-bedroom brick bungalow, and then you actually are taking that and putting these engineered joists across. You're going up a full story, and you're putting it into probably a 4-bedroom home with a full main floor now that is all living space. So you've totally changed the style of that house. You've doubled the square footage. So you've gone from a starter home or retirement home to a family home. So maybe that is what meets your needs as you go through.
Another example of a home that you can build upwards and renovate upwards here.
Yeah. So, this is just another example. This is more showing a different style of roof and different style of exterior. We're looking at a stucco siding that they went right over the bricks. So they probably took that foam SM board, and they put it around the house, and they did that setup. And again, it doesn't have to be a brick home. You will have to have an engineer sign off on it. We
Mm.
did in our house, because older houses sometimes are 2x4 walls, and sometimes you have to beef them up to, or a 2x6 wall. Sometimes you have to beef them up to a 2x8 wall because of the weight that's going to be going up. So they have to make sure that, first of all, that the foundation can hold it, and that then they go up, and then you go to that next story. So you have to get plans drawn up. You have to have an engineer look at it, and sign off. There is a bit of a headache to this, like there is a bit of work to this. This is not just an easy process. But, if you get a good team in place, you can make it work. Like I think it's something to explore.
This is interesting. Rather than a whole new floor, maybe just a room
Yeah.
or two.
Yeah. This is a little bit less of a headache, and this is more of something that you look at and say, okay, well, we have another child, and we say we need an extra bedroom. Why don't we put a big master off the back? And at the same time, we're going to do a family room on the main floor. So you look at it, and the downside of that is maybe you lose a little bit of yard. Okay. But you gain that extra space in that house where you say, okay, now we have a living room, dining room, kitchen, plus the family room off the back, whole new master, kids are in the front. It changes the whole house, and you didn't have to disturb the house that much. You could
Hmm.
kind of live through that. Like that's a live through renovation. You just open the wall after you're done, they trim it out, and carry on. Yeah.
Amazing. I love before and after pictures. This next one here. Again, it's a whole new floor.
You've got this home where it's got a bit of character, and they've kind of gone with a bump out on the upper floor, just to add a little bit of character with that porch. Again, you're looking at this small bungalow that is wartime style home, and you look at it and you say, okay, well, we don't want to leave, and we want to go up. And we do see a lot of this. Like if you go and drive around the Henderson places, or the Winston areas, or into Westdale, all of those places, Regent Park, those homes that were built in 1940, 1950, 1960, people love those areas. They don't want to leave, right? So they go, what are we going to do? We want the family to be here. We're going to go up.
And
So
just when you think you've put a renovation on, an addition, you love it, down the road, I'm going to do an addition to the addition. You can do that.
yeah, that's right. You look at the farmhouse. This is a typical thing that can happen at a farm, because people they have that original farmhouse that's that fieldstone or limestone, and they love it so much. I mean, you've got acreage, you've got you've grown up there forever. It's home. Most farmhouses had an addition off the back, which was a summer kitchen. They originally, a lot of people renovated those, closed them in, maybe had a second story that they made into an extra bedroom, and then the family gets bigger. And then you add that extra piece onto the back. And then you've got an addition after an addition. You just have to go through the proper permits and you're ready to go.
Always some great advice, always great information. We thank you, Matt Lee.
Great. Thank you. Take care.
Real estate tips brought to you by Matt Lee of Royal LePage.